What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be doing a best anime tier list. I have all the animes that I have watched. So I'm only doing the ones that I have watched so far. If I haven't watched them, then I'm not going to put them on this tier list just because I don't have the full knowledge of the actual anime itself. So this is going to be my opinion on the best anime so far that I have actually watched. You can see here we have S tier, we have A tier, we have B tier, we have C tier, we have D tier, we have F tier. S tier is like God tier. F tier is the trashes. So let's get into it. First up, we have Boruto. Now, me personally, I didn't like fucking Boruto at all. I hated Boruto. It was too many filler episodes, I feel like. So Boruto, I'm about to put Boruto at C tier. Next one we have Death Note. Now, if you haven't watched Death Note is probably one of the best animes, in my opinion, out there. And it's short. You can watch it in like a day or two. I don't know how many episodes it has, but I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix and some other. I watched it on Netflix, so right now I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go God tier just because I feel like it should be up there. Now, Code Geass. Code Geass is like a strategist anime. I want to say, but like. Lelouch is the main character. I think that's how you say his name. He's like a strategist. He knows how to play mind games, manipulate. He knows how to play his cards right. So I'm actually go B tier. I don't think it's an A tier just because all the side characters really aren't all that. So Overlord is the next one. I really don't know. See, Overlord wasn't that bad, but it's like a game base. It's like solo leveling. You get your character, you level them up to a certain. I personally like the side characters more than I actually like the main character. I don't know if his name is Overlord. I forgot what his name was, but I like the side characters more. So I'm gonna put it C just to play it safe. We are gonna be able to move these around during the video. So if I change these up, because these aren't gonna be my final, tier list. We'll be changing them up during the video. Now, Seven Deadly Sins, I will forever say this. Seven Deadly Sins is one of the most non-looked at animes that is actually like good. Like nobody talks about Seven Deadly Sins. Nobody wants to talk about Seven Deadly Sins, but it's a great anime. I think they have it on Netflix. I'm not sure what else they have it on. I don't think they have it on Crunchyroll. But in my opinion, I will forever say this. Seven Deadly Sins is one of the greatest animes probably created. Shaman King. Now, Shaman King is about like spirits, them fighting with spirits, like ice spirits, just different kind of spirits, like spirits that are dead. They can interact with them and kind of use their power. I would say Shaman King. I'll play Shaman King at C tier too, because I feel like it's a B tier, but it just didn't have enough episodes to actually be on a B tier. Then we have Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen, great anime. I think it's like one of the best right now, if I'm not mistaken. With their animation, with their just everything in general, their storyline, everything. My opinion, I don't like it to be at an S tier, but I will put it as an A tier. Now, Saint Seiya Omega. If you don't know what Saint Seiya Omega is, we have Saint Seiya is right here. You see my cursor, Saint Seiya is right here. It is about like knights fighting and all that. I'll get into that Senseiya, but this Senseiya is Omega. This is like Boruto to the Naruto. So this is the kids. This is his kids now be able to become knights, having the same armor as Pegasus, having his friends with him that basically go through the same thing. Like I said, I'll speak on Senseiya when we get to Senseiya, but this is just basically, I want to say spin-off version, but it's like Boruto to Naruto. It's just the kid and his journey on what he's actually doing. So, my opinion, I think it's S tier. Just because I grew up off Senseiya, I'd have to go ahead and put it as S tier. Now, I think this is called God of High School. God of High School was okay. Their animation wasn't all the best, but I think their fights, I feel like some people can actually enjoy some of their fights just because they had, I wouldn't say a lot of power scaling to it, but they had a lot of people. It's kind of like One Piece. They turn into like creatures, or like, they have their devil fruit powers in One Piece. That's kind of how this is. It's not really like devil fruit powers, but they turn into different things in the way that they created their animation while they were fighting. I mean, I think it was pretty good, but it just doesn't have not enough doesn't have a lot of episodes. So I'm about to put a D tier for right now. Okay, so the next one is Fairy Tail. If you haven't heard about Fairy Tail, it's about dragon slayers. Natsu is the main character, and I want to say another main character is Lucy or Lucci. I want to say Lucy, but some people just pronounce it differently. It's about dragon slayers, different dragons, lightning dragons, fire dragons, earth dragons, just different kind of dragons. So me personally, I liked it. I know they're on their Fairy Tail 100 year quest right now. I think that just dropped and it finished. I think a month ago or 2 months ago. I'm not sure. I don't really follow up with that, but I'm gonna put it as B tier right now. A Dragon Ball is next up. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball, it is definitely one of the best animes probably ever created. Definitely top three, if not top two. It has to go. It has to go S tier, without a doubt. Hell's Paradise is next. Hell's Paradise is probably, I want to say, one of the best animes, but it's like Jujutsu. I want to say it's like Jujutsu Kaisen. That's a little reach, but it's like a, what can I compare it to? I mean, I guess me personally, I'll probably compare it to like Demon Slayer because I don't think Demon Slayer is like one of the best animes, but I think it's like a great anime if that makes sense. So Hell's Paradise is about I forgot the main character's name, but a person that wanted to die, but his will wouldn't let him die. So he had to kind of figure it out through the episodes and through the storyline on why he wouldn't allow himself to die, even though deep down, he wanted to die. And they take him to an island and make him fight like monsters and stuff like that. Me personally, I think it's B tier. If you haven't watched it, I think it's either on Netflix or Crunchyroll. I can't forget. I know it's on Crunchyroll. Next one is Vinland Saga. Now, Vinland Saga at the beginning, if it was just the beginning of Vinland Saga, I would definitely have to put it S tier. But since they did their little thing, I think it was like with season two or at the end of Vinland Saga, I really didn't like it. I feel like if they would have kept Vinland Saga how Vinland Saga was moving at the beginning, it probably would have been one. I want to say one of the greatest, but it would probably been like again like a Demon Slayer, or because I don't want to compare nothing to Jujutsu Kaisen just because Jujutsu Kaisen, bro, it's on a different level right now, and it's been on a different level. So Vinland Saga is I think the main character's name is Thorfinn. I think he saw his dad get killed in front of his eyes, and then the person who killed him, he had to like journey with him or go on an adventure, and he was wanting to kill that guy every step of the way, and then he turned into like, I forgot how they called them, people who like don't want to fight or anything like that, but he didn't want to fight anymore, and he wanted to live a different lifestyle, which he became a farmer, I think it was. Man, I really want to put this like A tier or B tier, but I'm about to put it C tier just because the beginning of Villain Saga was so good. Now the next one is Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer, in my opinion, it's all right. It's not an anime for everybody. It's just about basically what his name is, Goblin Slayer. There's goblins. I would say it's like solo leveling with its gates. Like, how solo leveling has like the gates, S tier, B tier, or whatever it is. Goblin Slayer is just like different goblins coming out of different woods, different cities, attacking, different stuff. And then the Goblin Slayer just goes slays them. I would put a D tier for right now. If not, I would probably put it C tier. Assassination Classroom. Now, I actually like the Assassination Classroom. I forgot what the main character was, but it's this yellow guy that you see right here where my cursor is. I think he's an alien or he's some type of species that is not from this earth, and he taught a class. I want to say necessarily has superpowers, but kids that are different from like your normal, everyday kids. So I guess you could say they had superpowers. They're just stronger than other kids and had different types of wills, do different things with their lives. Cause I think they said he was an alien, but I forgot what the species of him was. That he was supposed to be the only species that came from Earth, if I'm not correct. And then somehow there was like another alien or another one of him inside one of the kids, and they had a fight. And now, if you haven't watched that, just type in Assassination Classroom. I think it's like Final Fight or something like that. And the fight was epic. I think they did the animation correct. Just everything about that last fight was actually like really good, in my opinion. Overall, it's basically him just teaching a class. My opinion, I think it's pretty funny. Um, ah, I'd go C tier. I'd go C tier. Now this is what is that anime called? It's like Kenshi Roroni or something like that. I know his name. The main character is Kenshin or something like that, and he's a Roroni, so he's a swordsman that doesn't really use a swords anymore or something like that. And I think it's called a Sakabato or something like that. So it's not really a sword. You can't cut anybody with it, but he's still strong enough to use a sword that doesn't have like its sharpness to it. So it's basically like a dual blade that he uses. It's kind of like what did I say? Like Vinland Saga. He was one of like the most powerful. Back then he actually used the sword, but he didn't want to kill anybody or he didn't want to fight anymore for the world government or something like that. And he gave it all up just to be, a regular person who lives, their day to day life. I personally like that. I think it's still going right now. I think they're on like their final war arc or something like that. I think it's on Crunchyroll. You can watch it. But I'm gonna have to place this in B tier, in my opinion. Now, Sensei, this is what I was saying about Omega. Saint Seiya is it's like knights fighting other knights. So you have like your bronze knights, you have your silver knights, you have your gold knights, you have your divine knights, I think it is, and then you have like your gods like Saturn. I think it was who were the other gods? I know it was Saturn, the Pope. What is the water guy? I don't know. It's not Aquarius. I forgot his name. But they have like these different guys that at the end they have to battle. They have to go through like a certain rank of knights. And then they obviously, they meet up to the final boss, which is like Saturn or, the Pope or anything like that. And this is what I grew up off of, so I'm gonna definitely have to go S tier. Maggie, I want to say it is. It's basically like magic. So you basically just use magic. And I think there's this little kid. I forgot his name, but I think it is Maggie or Maggie, something like that. I know it's Magi, and he was like one of the most powerful people because as a kid he had more like Black Clover or some had mana. He had like more mana than other people, like how Naruto had more chakra than anybody else or something like that. That's what he had, so he could store more up and he could do more with his techniques or powers, or he could go for longer durations to other characters. In my opinion, I think it's D tier. I don't think it's all that, but I mean, I think it was pretty fun to watch. And I think they had a this is the sequel to I think Sinbad. So I think it goes Sinbad as a kid, and then when he grows up, he teaches Magi, the ways or something like that. Now the Adventure of Dai, mm, me personally, I didn't like the Adventure of Dai. This might be our first F tier, just because I feel like they were dragging it on, like the fights or the storyline too much, and I feel like it was like too much whining and complaining. It was just too much of he can't do this, I can't do that. Even the side characters, like I forgot what I don't think it was his best friend, but one of his friends, it was a side character, and he cried the whole anime. So I was just like, it pissed me off. Now Fire Force, me personally, I like Fire Force. I think they're having a season 3 either this year or next year. I can't remember, but I think we just got news on this. Fire Force is basically demons turning into fires, and these Fire Force people have special powers that kind of put them out. So it's not really like water putting out fire demons or anything like that. It's just powerful people going against like fire demons at different ranks and different levels, throughout the city. So yeah, I'd have to put this B tier for me, just because I think it was a pretty good anime. Now this one is Sword Art Online. If I'm not mistaken, Sword Art Online has like 3 or 4 seasons, if not more. I think they have more, and I think they had 2 movies on it, if I'm not mistaken. It's basically a game, like solo leveling. You go in, you play as your character. It's a VR headset. I think they got stuck in the VR headset for 2 years because if you played in the VR headset in real life, so if you die in the game in real life, you die also. It was basically like survival mode if you were wearing a VR headset. You didn't want to bump into anybody who would try and kill you or anything like that. So I would have to go. I wouldn't say it's all that. So I have to go D tier for this one. Now, One Piece, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about One Piece. One Piece has to be one of the most talked about animes for years now. Same thing with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has been talked about since it came out. So has One Piece. People argue that it's too long to watch or too long to start. I personally don't think so, just because the storyline is so good. What else? Like, you know, there's so many characters in One Piece. I feel like if not, One Piece has some of the most characters in anime. If anything, I would put maybe Naruto second, because I don't think Dragon Ball has that many characters. Like, scaling it to One Piece, because One Piece we have seen so many villains, we have seen so many pirates. We still don't know half of the pirates. Like One Piece, you know some things, but we don't know everything that's going on in One Piece. That's the thing about One Piece, and I feel like that's why people hate it, because we get like little cliffhangers every time we see a chapter or episode. This is definitely S tier for me. I'm definitely putting it in front. It's one of the best animes ever created, in my opinion. My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia. I think they're coming out with the next season this year. I want to say it's 2026, but it could be at the end of this year. I think we get news on it at the end of this year, and then I think it drops in 2026. I'm not sure, but My Hero Academia. It was a great anime. I could put that A tier. I could put this A tier. What is this? This is Shield Hero. So Shield Hero wasn't all that. Shield Hero is, I think it was about a guy who just wanted back his homeland or something like that, and he had to fight through armies to get it. So, and I think this is on Crunchyroll. I'm gonna put it D tier, because it wasn't all that, but it was fun to watch. Now, Full Metal Alchemist. This is one of, like, just like Seven Deadly Sins is a sleeper anime. I feel like Full Alchemist is a sleeper anime too, because it doesn't get talked about a lot. And I know it's been, over for so many years or whatnot, but in my opinion, it definitely has to go A tier, just because of the storyline, how his brother got, you know, what is it? He got like equipped in armor or something like that. Like, he didn't have his actual body. His actual body was armor. I think that was a great storyline. And obviously we have Naruto. I don't think Naruto needs, much talking. One of the best animes out there. Definitely S tier. Now, Demon Slayer. I don't think we had Demon Slayer, have we? I don't think so. Demon Slayer, I would definitely place it A tier. I think they're coming out with, it was either a movie or new episodes. I forgot what it was, but it's definitely one of the, it's like I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, some people won't agree, but they're on the terms of, like, in my opinion, equal with each other, because I don't really like Jujutsu Kaisen all the way, and I don't really like Demon Slayer all the way. So I feel like they're kind of equal in my eyes, in my opinion. God of Ragnarok, God of Ragnarok, 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 God of Ragnarok. The next one is God of Ragnarok. This one is basically just straight fighting. So, like, if you like solo leveling, I'm pretty sure you like this anime, because it's literally just straight fighting. I think it's humans versus gods. So you have your gods, like, who was it? Zeus. It was other people, but like the humans had like Jack the Ripper. I think they had Adam in there. They had Adam and Eve. They just had different people. So it's humans versus gods, and it's literally just straight fighting the whole time. So I'm gonna definitely have to place this. I'm gonna place a B tier. Now, Four Knights of the Apocalypse. If you don't know, it's basically like Boruto to Naruto, the Seven Deadly Sins. Meliodas had a child, and it's Tristan. I think Bond had a child, which is Lancelot, and they're basically going on their own quest or whatnot, and they have to fight. I forgot what his name is. Arthur. They had to fight Arthur, who I think we saw in like the ending of Seven Deadly Sins, where he got like the power of chaos, and now he's gone out of control in the new series or whatever. So now they have to defeat him. Then we have Attack on Titans. I think Attack on Titans, I want to say, for me, it's the best anime, but it's definitely one of those ones. So in my opinion, I have to go B tier, Just because my favorite in Attack on Titan is definitely Levi. I think that's like most people's favorite, in my opinion. Magic and muscle. So his magic, I think, is his muscles. So his muscles can be like 10,000 strong, whatnot. And most of his classmates have magic. Their magic can really touch him, if that makes sense. Like I want to say he was immune to like magic, anything like that, but the magic doesn't have really any effect on him because he's so strong. So I'm about to put this. I'll put a C tier. Now Dragon Ball Daima that just came out. I think the beginning of this year. Definitely a great anime. I feel like they could have done a little better, but definitely S tier. We have Hunter x Hunter now. Hunter x Hunter doesn't need an introduction. Hunter x Hunter is definitely one of the best animes out there that has ever been. I wish they would have finished Hunter x Hunter. Now I don't know what happened to the people who were doing Hunter x Hunter, but I know something had happened. It was definitely one of the. It was one of the best animes ever. Now this one, I think this is Grantis War or some shit like that. This is basically about people going to war, armies versus armies, conquering territories and stuff like that. So I'm definitely place this D tier because it wasn't all that, but seeing like armies fight and then conquering territories and then what to do to get their next one, having allies and then switching up on allies, I think it was pretty cool. The next one is Bastards. I forgot what Bastards is about. I watched it so long ago, but I think it's about, yeah, I actually don't know. I have to place this F tier because I completely forgot. I couldn't even tell you. Black Clover definitely deserves a A tier. I don't know when Black Clover is supposed to be coming on again, but I know we had news like a couple months ago or something like that. I don't know when it's gonna be coming on again, but it definitely deserves an A tier. This one was Tokyo Revengers or Avengers, something like that. I think it was just about a gang. I forgot, but it was about a gang and like other gangs. And then it was like a soft person joined a gang or something like that, or they were friends with people, and he ended up becoming like friends with the leader or whatnot. I could go C tier for this one. Now, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I think is definitely great. I don't think it's, crazy and all that. I feel like it was great because of how many seasons it had, how many episodes it had. It was basically like stand users. So they have like stands that come out of their body, help them fight, help them do whatever. And there were just so many different types of stands that we saw in the anime. I'd put it at C tier. And then Solo Leveling, I think Solo Leveling is definitely deserving of S tier just because we need an anime that has just basically fights in it. Like leveling up, fights, something that's quick that everybody can get into. I feel like Solo Leveling has that, great animation to their fights and all that. So now we'll be ranking them in order of what I think they should be. So like the S tier, we have them S tier, we have A tier, we have B tier, we have C tier, we have D tier, we have F tier. But now I'm gonna be ranking them like first, second, and all that. So One Piece is definitely first for me. I grew up off Senseiya, so I'm gonna have to just put it second. So as Omega. Seven Deadly Sins, like I would always say, the Seven Deadly Sins is a slept on anime. It's probably one of the greatest out there. Um, I'm just gonna put Death Note at the end. I'm gonna put Hunter x Hunter next. I'm gonna put Naruto over Dragon Ball. Then I said we can do Dragon Ball. Uh, yeah, I like that. Dragon Ball Daima, Four Knights of the Apocalypse. So yeah, yep. That sounds good. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'll definitely put that, but I'll definitely put Black Clover next. My Hero, Demon Slayer, and Full Alchemist. I would go Fairy Tail, Kenshin, or whatever that anime is called. I think it's Kenshin or something like that. I'm just gonna put Code Geass last. I'd put Fire Force. I'd put Attack on Titan over Record of Ragnarok. Now Boruto, I told you was shitty. I'm gonna give it an F tier just because F tier is going first. I'd say I think that's right because Bastards. I forgot what Bastards was about. I'll go Heroes Paradise, Fire Force, Attack on Titans. I like that. Now Overlord, Shaman King. I'll have to go Shaman King. Let's see. I'll go JoJo's Bizarre Adventure second. I'll go Vinland Saga just because of the beginning was fire. Magic and Muscles isn't all that, so I'll do Assassination Classroom, Magic and Muscles, Overlord, and then event. What was this called again? Tokyo Revengers or Adventure, some shit like that. God of High School. We have Magi. I'll put Magi first. God of High School. Goblin Slayer last. Sword Art Online next to last. I actually like Grandest War better than Shield Hero 3 or Shield Hero 2, something like that. So yeah, this is our anime tier list. Now remember, this is only animes that I have actually watched. These isn't every anime that's out there. This is just animes that I've actually watched and I can actually give my opinion on because I've actually watched them. If you have any animes that you want to see me do next or any animes that you would want me to look at and then make another tier list with more animes, because I think we have like 40 minus this one, so I think it's 39 if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to see me do another one, I think I'm gonna be doing a anime movies tier list soon. I don't know when, but drop in the comments below on animes or what tier list you should see me do next. Peace.